Good morning, Vikings. Welcome to Viking Preparedness. I am Pastor Joe Fox. I intended to shoot this video. I had it planned in my head out there. We'll see. Sitting on a particular rock. Thought it would be a cool backdrop for the story, for the video. But I'm not that dedicated to the art. It's raining. It's raining hard. We have flash flood warnings going on, but we're okay. It's supposed to be a nice sunny day on Friday, and I think what I'm gonna do, curry. I think what I'm gonna do is box blade the roads again because they'll be soaked, and it's easier to move the dirt and the gravel when it's wet, and it'll probably need some dressing up after all this rain. So I'm kind of excited about getting on Jack. That is what we decided to call it, right? Jack for Jack-o'-lantern because it's orange. Yeah. All right. I have done videos in the past, a couple of them. They're decent videos. I mean, the information is good. As far as, my confidence in front of the camera, on various firearms that I've owned. I think one of the first ones I did was Pastor Joe's hunting guns, which was two, a shotgun and a rifle, and a four-wheel drive. And then I did one that's had a lot of views over the years. Maybe someday I'll reshoot it. And I can't remember. I think I called it Guns for the Homestead or something like that. That's what I want to address today. I'm pretty sure it's Homestead Firearms or something like that. And in it, I'm pretty sure, if I recall, I talked about my shotgun and my deer rifle. I talked about a handgun, because I carry one all the time. And that's about it, I think. And a lot of people said 22, and I said I never use a 22. I actually have started using a 22 more, but not to the point that I consider it vital for the homestead. Just don't. I learned a good thing the other day from one of you, so thank you. I'm actually going... Those are the guineas. I'm actually going to incorporate it. When I go deer hunting, I typically carry a 22 pistol. And I have it loaded with CB caps, which is basically a 22 short with no powder in it, just the primer. It's gallery rounds is what they're also called. They used to use them in shooting galleries, so they're not that loud. I don't have a suppressor, but it's still not that loud. And I usually keep it at hand. And if a squirrel finds me and just won't shut up, dog food. And I shoot it so it shuts the heck up and lets the woods return to quiet. But one of y'all had a better idea. I'm going to use it. It gives me a reason to go buy a new toy. I'm going to go buy a wrist rocket, a slingshot, and carry a couple, mini ball bearings out there with me. And I'll just use that. It's more movement. One thing is you don't want to move. I told you that right on the hunting video. You don't want to move a lot. And so, the difference between and there's more, but I think overall it'll be quieter. And so, although, a wrist rocket makes some noise when it goes off, but not as much as my 22. Now, if I had a suppressor, I'd use that, but I don't. So today I want to talk to you about the gun. I know it's not a proper term. That I have used more than any other here on the homestead, here on Shofar Mountain, living my neo-pioneer lifestyle. I've used this gun more than any other in the last couple months. How can I do this? Ooh. Some of you already know what it is. I wish I didn't have that tape on there. It would look cooler. Here. There. Look at that, huh? Ooh. Yep. It's a BB gun. That's all it is. And, man, I loaded this thing a long time ago. I bought like an old cardboard milk carton full of BBs, and I poured them in here and put this tape over it so they wouldn't fall out. I think there's supposed to be a latch, but it's broken. My wife found this BB gun in her ancestral home, in the home that she like went 6th grade through college in. No, she didn't live at home during college, but you know, the home that was still her residence, up in the attic. And none of her brothers remembered it. And it didn't look like this when we got it. They didn't remember it as theirs, and so she kept it. And we brought it home, and of course I painted it with the Pastor Joe special paint job. And it is, I probably should have looked this up beforehand. I think it's a Glenfield. I tell you what, one of you will know, and I can't read it without my reading glasses, and I don't have them here. This is what I use it for. But it's this. Heck, maybe you can read it on the side or on the other side. There we go. Can you read that? I don't know. Anyway, they found it in the garage. I zeroed it long ago by just bending this thing up till it was right, the rear sight, just bending it up till it was right. And I bought the carton of BBs. You pour the BBs in here. Like I said, the latch is broken, so we have this lovely Sister Kate duct tape on there. And then the way it works, you pull this back. Actually, I think I have a BB. I keep a BB in there. See that? There's like a little magnet there. I'll show you. Push this forward. You can pump it, up to 10 times or something. I don't know. So you just pump it like this. For what I've been using it for, and I'm going to tell you, I usually pump it 3 times. And then you aim and you shoot. Now, that's what I wanted to show you. Now when you pull the bolt back, all right, come here. Hey, there we go. There's no BB. See that? So I just pull it back, kind of fiddle with it like that, and a BB magically appears. And then I close it, and I just leave it like this because it has like probably leather washers or something in here that like hold the air. And you don't want to leave a pellet gun or a BB gun pumped up. So I just leave it like that, so when I need it, I don't have to do that little bit finding the BB, and I just... What have I been using it for? I got it out. This actually is like... I keep it right here on the porch. Remember the story I told you about our guineas? And they were beating up my rooster? And I got tired of it? Well, what we ended up doing was, for the most part, keeping the guineas locked up in a 10 by 10 chain link dog kennel all day. And then I had to feed them. I mean, there's enough for them to eat out here. What the heck am I buying feed for 3 guineas for that aren't even laying eggs? Although my wife said she found an egg in the woods the other day, a guinea egg. And then about once every 4 or 5 days, I'd keep the chickens locked up in their run, and I'd let the guineas out, to give them some freedom. It's like being on 23-hour lockdown, get them their time out in the box. I just got tired of doing that, and I said, you know what? I'm going to let them out, and if they mess with the rooster, I'm going to shoot them with our shotgun, and we're going to eat them. But then I remembered the pellet gun, so I let them out. They were generally okay. I got the pellet gun, I set it out here, and yep, they started picking on the rooster. So I pulled this out. I did it 2 times. Click, click. And I shot him about 10 feet away, right in the wing, in the feathers of the wing, because I didn't really want to hurt the bird. I just wanted it to hurt. And I popped it, and it just kind of jumped up and did that and kept picking on the rooster. I'm like, oh, heck no. 4. Click, click, click. Oh, it didn't like that. They ran away. And after I did that 2 more times, as soon as they heard oh heck. As soon as they heard that, they started running. Now, then, the next iteration of training for them was all I had to do, I told you click, click, right? Then all I had to do was just lift up the rifle like this. They would run. They'd run away. And now, all I have to do with the guineas when I want them to run, I guess they're smart birds, is just lift up my hand. I lift up my hand and they take off. So when they're bugging me, that's what I do. We had another problem. We had 2 baby goats here. We gave one to Home Skillet finally. But we had 2 baby goats here, and they weren't hooked onto the collars and tied out because it's just, they really didn't wander far from the adult goats. We had 2 adult goats, and they didn't wander far from them. But they started, feeling their oats, right? And they started running around. And I don't want them to eat the rose bushes. I don't want them next year when we have a garden to eat the garden, although we'll have them locked up then. But they were just bugging me. It's like, you don't belong here. And what I was worried about was them maybe trying to climb up on the solar panels. Because, oh yeah, they'll jump up on cars. People complain about cat paw prints on their car. We have had cars with goat prints on them. And so I'm like, no, I don't want that to happen. And so, clicky, clicky in the hindquarter. Oh, they don't like that. And so what I do now is, well, they got trained too. As soon as they hear the click, click, they start running. And now we only have one little one. It starts running. But when it gets really involved in something or it doesn't hear me and it gets too close, I'll click it 2 or 3 times depending on how far away it is, and I shoot it, pow, in the hindquarter. Because again, it doesn't really hurt it. It's not penetrating the skin. It's just like a slap. But most of the time, all I got to do is go clack, clack, and they run away. So that's what I've been using this for. I really like it. And believe it or not, for this is all plastic. It had like a wood grain. It looked like wood on it before I painted it. It's just plastic. For, I don't know, maybe it was expensive, but I don't think so. For a cheap little pellet gun, this thing's pretty accurate. Accurate, as people say around here. No, where'd you go? Might need some new BBs pretty soon. I've been having fun with it. All right, there's a BB. 1, 2, 3, 4. We got a sour cream container out there. Did you hear it? It went. It's that white. Can you see that white Tupperware looking container thing? Yeah. So, I know, not super high speed, but it keeps the pests, our pests, away. And now, watch this. I'm going to try and shoot at those guineas. Actually, I better not. And I'll tell you why. Responsibility. It's raining. It's windy. The guineas that are yelling are about 20 yards away. And sure, I would aim for center mass, hit it in the wing, but what if it moved up and hit it in the head or the eye, right? So, not going to do that. And they can't see me sitting on the porch. Shut up. Alright, so yeah, I think it's a Glenfield. I think that's what it's called. I looked at it before. I have no idea if you can buy them anymore. I bet you could, though, for less than $50, I would hope. Probably around 30 or something. It's fun, and you can teach the kids to shoot. I mean, firearm principles apply. There's a front sight, there's a rear sight, and it works. You have to line it up and aim it. There's even a safety on it. So you can teach the kids safety. Yeah, I'll title this something, Homestead Essential Firearm or something. But yeah, this is what it is. My pellet gun. Alright, and I'm going to get a wrist rocket too, so whoever said that, thank you. Alright, I'll see you out there.